Non, non, pas de photo. Pas de photo.
A game of make-believe on Bernard Avenue.
Et vous?
For a few weeks in February and March, it's kind of like a puppet invasion in Outremont. Shows and tours like this one, and even puppets lining shop windows in some of the most popular streets in the borough.
Beep, 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 poot, poot.
It's called Marionnette en vitrine. This year's event featured about 90 puppets, half of them created by designer and puppeteer Patrick Martel. When you see them in the window, how do you feel about that?
Well, it's a little bit like a walk down memory lane.
That's because over the last 35 years of his career, he's done a lot of projects with a lot of people. Martel designs puppets for big shows like the Cirque du Soleil.
We have 20 miniature sets. We have cameras, we have puppets, we have...
His most recent creations are with multimedia artist Kid Koala.
I created 2 shows together, one called Newfonia Must Fall, and some of these puppets were in the windows for the exhibit here. And the other one is called the Storyville Mosquito. And we just performed in New York City at the Lincoln Center for 3 performances, and yeah, it was really amazing.
No matter how influential his work, Martel has time to groom the next generation of puppeteers. He teaches puppetry arts at UQAM. Some of his students' work was even featured alongside his in the Outremont storefronts.
My students are so smart, so talented. I'm always very humbled that when I see their work, I'm like, whoa.
Martel also gives workshops to anyone who wants to learn at what's affectionately known as the Miam. This is Fire Hall 75 on Just Avenue, just near Wiseman in Outremont. And just behind the building, to the left of the parking lot, is their old stables. Now, this building was empty for many years, but back in 2018, it reopened after a big renovation. It now houses the Maison Internationale des Arts de la Marionnette. Basically, this is the hub of puppetry arts in Montreal.
Allô, welcome! Bienvenue à la Maison de la Marionnette.
Louise Lapointe is the artistic director and founder of the Miam.
It started really by someone saying, Louise, do you want to do a festival for the reading week?
That's amazing. That was almost 20 years ago when she created the Casteliers, a promoter for puppetry theater. The following year came the Casteliers Festival, growing from 3 days of puppet shows to the current 5. About a dozen puppet companies from all over the world perform everything from the traditional to the contemporary in venues across Montreal.
It's such an old art form, puppetry, like on the caverns, Shadow Theater started, and still in this century, it's still so contemporary because it's never ending, the imagination of the artists to create with material and gesture, and also these new medias that are coming in. Many puppeteers use them, and it's fantastic to see what's going on.
But the festival is brief and seasonal. The Maison, by comparison, allows the creativity to continue year-round through workshops and as a research and creative center. Hailing from Finland, Rusa Halme is an artist in residency at the Maison. Using wooden blocks, her abstract puppetry mesmerizes the audience in the Miam's pocket-sized theater.
It's really international, which we love. We had guests from Taiwan, from Mexico, from United States and Canada. And also what we do is also cultural education activities. So we give workshops in the schools and also here for the elderly, and we have intergenerational workshops.
Reaching out to the wider community is one of the main priorities. This workshop, called the Marionnette Café, introduces new arrivals to established families in Montreal.
And so around a big table, they build a puppet together, the parents, the children, and they take a coffee. So it's a very détendu atmosphere.
Very relaxed
atmosphere. And it does wonder, you know, to help those newcomers to meet new people and get less shy and make connections. Oh, I get so it's really a very much appreciated activity.
This puppet takes community outreach a step even further. Created by the Casteliers and several other groups in Outremont, it's called the Marionnette of Emotions.
And it's to help little children to recognize, understand, and better deal with their emotions. So every emotion, sadness, joy, is related to a small choreography and a music. And we're very happy about this project.
Just outside the Maison is Îlot Saint-Viateur, soon to be renamed Place Micheline Legendre. A pioneer of puppetry in the country, she started her career in the mid-1940s. Over the years, she created nearly 1,200 puppets. Legendre was born and lived in Outremont and organized the very first puppet festival in the city in 1967.
She was a historian, musician, and she got very enthusiastic and passionate too about puppets. And she trained a lot of puppeteers who also later on started their own companies. So her heritage is really immense.
An art form Patrick Martel was drawn to at just 3 years old because of pioneers like Legendre.
On French TV, on English TV, anything that had puppets, I was drawn to it. And I was reading the credits at the end of the shows. I saw that word, marionnettiste. I thought, that's what I want to become.
For Martel, it's not the puppets themselves he cherishes, but rather how the puppeteers bring them to life and that the audience plays along. And much of that connection is happening in Outremont.
Parce que, ok, donc...